What's up guys, it's Sammy Geek here with part 2 of the face-off with the Fold and the Note 10 Plus, rocking the new shirt. Hopefully you guys dig it. So where are we at so far? We did phone calls, texting, web surfing, YouTube video watching, multitasking, cameras, cool factor, and phone specific features. So far the Fold is at a total score of 74. The Note 10 Plus is at a score of 66, and if you break that down on a scale from 1 to 10, we are at a 9.25 average right now for the Fold, and we are at an 8.25 average for the Note 10 Plus. So we have a lot of remaining categories, so let's see how this finishes out. What we have up next is fit and finish, durability, operation and one-handed operation, value, comfort, innovation, and speed. And let's kick it off right away with fit and finish. You guys remember my video when I walked out of the store with the Samsung Fold in hand. I was pretty psyched about this phone. I'm gonna rate this at a 10. This is tippy top of the mark as far as quality goes. So I'm not gonna lie about that. When I walked out, actually the very first time I got my hands on this device, I was completely wowed. And so no doubt it's gonna get a 10. The Note 10 Plus, you all know I'm gonna rate this thing a 10, of course. This thing is a rock star. The glass front, the glass back just molds around, melts around. There's no sharp points. Unfortunately, this has some sharp points on it, but it's the nature of the beast, so I'm still gonna give it a 10. Durability is up next. You guys know this is gonna be a soft spot for this phone, and sure as heck it is. So my rating between these two, actually, let's start with the Note 10 Plus. This I'm gonna rate at a 10 because this is as good as it gets. This thing is dust-proof, sand-proof, waterproof, drop-proof if you put a little bit of a rubber case on it. Well, you're not gonna drop it onto cement on purpose, but it will hold up on a day-to-day basis. This guy, it's kind of a catch-22 with this phone because the outside, I feel it's extremely durable, right? It's glass on both sides, well, kind of a plasticky glass, but it's very durable. Once you open it up, that's the Achilles heel of this thing. And it was funny, one of the comments on the YouTube video was somebody who was telling me, don't poke at the middle of it when you close it. You know, poke at the bottom of it. So you know who you are if you're the one that commented on that. But durability wise, I feel like it's okay, right? I'm not gonna baby this thing, but I give it a 5 because of the soft screen. The soft screen is just killer. And having no waterproofing, no dust proofing, anything like that. Unfortunately, it scores really low, so this thing's gonna get a 5. Again, Note 10 Plus gets a 10. Next up, operation. When I talk about operation, I'm talking about day-to-day basis. I'm talking about using this thing. What's it like to kind of operate, to respond to text messages, look at the internet, everything sort of combined, watching videos, checking emails, checking your Amazon account, different things on a day-to-day basis. So operation, I also rate one-handed operation as well because both these, surprisingly for me, this is a one-handed operation. I can do it one-handed. This is more comfortable with the small screen. You can get at everything, but one-handed operation, I'm gonna give this guy a 7. I'm gonna give the Note 10 Plus an 8. So really close, and the reason is, of course, because the Fold having a narrow body and being able to kind of one-hand operation everything. So again, the thinness kind of ups the ante with this phone. So day-to-day operation, I still score the Note 10 Plus higher. I can pull this thing out of my pocket. I can send a quick text message. I can use it one hand. I can use it two-handed. It gives me a lot of different ways to use it. So next up, value. This is a tricky one because this is a $2,000 phone. This is, depending on the variant that you get, a little over $1,000, right? So you get your really big bang for your buck with this thing. This thing is polished, fine-tuned. It is a hell of a device for the price. However, on the other hand, the Fold gets you a ton of innovation. If you're willing to fork out $2,000 for the innovation, this thing is fantastic. So value-wise, for the dollar, I had to put the Note 10 Plus at a 9 on my ranking of 1 through 10, a 9. This one is not far behind. I'm giving it an 8 for value. Next up, comfort. This was, for me, an important category because when I talk about comfort, I'm talking about making phone calls, I'm talking about using it opened and closed, and I'm talking about in the pocket. What does it feel like when it's in your pocket? And comfort-wise, I still ranked the Note 10 Plus a little higher because it's thin, it slides in and out. You instantly have the full screen. You can do it one-handed, two-handed. So it's very comfortable for me. This one with the sharp edges, it loses a couple points, and then with the weight, it lost a couple points. So comfort, I'm giving this guy a 7, I'm giving this guy an 8. Innovation, you guys know who's gonna win this one. So surprisingly though, I do rate the Note 10 Plus at an 8, and I'm gonna rate the Fold at a 10. And here's why, because yes, we've all seen the S Pen. S Pen's been around for a while, but this thing, each and every year, they just make it better and better. So there still is some innovation to this phone. This phone is still a beast, no matter how you look at it. It cannot take out this. This is like the flagship right now for cool factor, for innovation. This thing gets a 10. If it could rate at 11, I'd rate it at an 11 for sure. Speed, that's the final column. So I talk about this speed kind of, I had to break this out a little bit different because it's more like your day-to-day operation. How are you using the phone? But for me, I'm on the go a lot. So I'm always on the move. I'm always doing something. So I have to have speed. I have to be able to pull this thing out of my pocket and go through calls, or go through text messages, or go through emails, or whatever I'm doing. On the other hand, this I can pull out of my pocket and I can type a quick text message from the front screen. So it's interesting, but where I get caught up with this phone is I noticed because of the narrow, this is where I'm really getting hung up on this thing. Because of the screen being small and narrow, I find that most of my use, I'm always wanting to flip open the phone. And so maybe it's because I'm not used to the front small screen. Maybe it's because I prefer the front screen of this for speed. But I keep opening up the phone, which again, changes how I use the phone, and it slows me down a little bit. So at the end of the day, it's interesting. Now, if you tally these up, I did 15 different categories for you guys on version 1, video 1 and video 2. It's a total of 15 categories. The total score, this is an interesting one. The Fold gets 128 points. The Note 10 Plus gets 129 points. 1 point away. Now I gotta tell you guys, you're gonna think, no, you planned this, you planned this. I did not, I promise you guys. I went through each and every category independently. I thought about my usage, how do I use these phones, and I ranked it from 1 to 10. And I went through 15 categories completely separate from one another. And when I tallied this up, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. People that are watching this are gonna think this was totally set up, but it was not. So it was that close. So factoring in 1 through 10, the average score for this guy from 15 categories is 8.53. The Note 10 Plus scores 8.6. So just slightly takes out the Fold, but there's a huge but to this. If you're a big gamer, or you are not on the go a lot, or you ride buses or trains or carpool, and you're sitting in one location for a long period of time, or you work in an office, the Fold might score some extra points for you and then push it over the edge to be your phone. If you're on the go a lot and you're moving and you're shaking, let me give you an example. So in my month to month, or let's just go through a year, I'm always on the go. I'm in the gym, I'm on an airplane, I'm traveling around, I'm for fun. Of course, we live on the lake. You guys have seen my other videos. So we have a boat on the lake. So we have a sandy beach, we have water right out front. I also do snowmobiling in the winter, ATVing in the fall and the spring. So I'm always on the go. This thing, I mean, I could be at the gym and spill water on it. I could drop it in the sand. I could drop it in the lake. I could drop it in the snow when I'm out snowmobiling. I could drop it in the mud when I'm out ATVing. There's just too many variables for me that would keep me from having this as a daily driver. Let's just say that. So that is my answer. I promised you guys I would give you an answer. The answer for me is this is the winner, the Note 10 Plus. Sadly, I have to not use this as a daily driver. I'm actually gonna take this device back. It's been a riot using this thing, but it just doesn't work with my lifestyle. So that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, guys. Between these phones, like I said, it is about your day-to-day, your monthly lifestyle. I feel like if in a couple of comments, I've noticed a few of you guys commenting on this exact thing that I'm mentioning now. So if you're on the go a lot, as I mentioned, the Note 10 Plus is gonna be your winner. If you're kind of chill, and you want to have the fold out tablet and you want to have a phone in one, the Fold takes the cake. So again, thank you so much for this video, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. If you appreciate this video and you like it, definitely thumbs up. If you haven't, please subscribe. Sammy Geek, thank you much, and we'll talk to you guys soon.